Hey everyone, this is Coach Dale Sanford with BBC Performance Coaching, coming at you from my office, the House of Pain. Wanted to answer a question today that we get just about every week. It's about a product right here. These are the Hoka Bondi Bs. Now these are a little bit older version. There's a new model out now, but we constantly get asked if we recommend these shoes, how they work, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to go over some things with you real quick, including the one big flaw that we're finding in these shoes. The shoes are based around these giant soles, so they're based around the premise of maximum cushion. The shoes do exactly what they say they do. The giant soles provide a lot of extra cushion, and they reduce impact forces on the running because it takes longer for you to decelerate to make that full ground contact. So actually we're really reducing impact force. What does that do for you? Obviously it means you're going to fatigue slower. It means you're going to recover a little bit quicker for long runs. I've been able to pull off some really big volume weeks in these shoes, doing all my long runs in them, even coming from very little running. They're very lightweight for the size of the shoe they are. They're about 10, 11 ounces or so, depending on the size. The soles, because they're so thick, the shoes last a little bit longer. But obviously, once your feet start to hurt, if you're running in the same shoes and you've never had problems with them, if your feet start to hurt, it's a good time to make a change, get a new pair. The other great part about them is that they're low drop. There's only a 4.5 millimeter drop from heel to toe, so there's not this giant ramp angle. You don't have this big extension on your heel every time you make a stride. So the maximum cushion, the low drop and maximum cushion makes it good for just about any style gait. So if you're a midsoler or a heel striker, you can kind of see where I land most of the time. So the cushion helps just about everybody. The wide base on the shoe makes it good for supinators, pronators, just about anybody. We've had some really good success out of athletes with these shoes as far as increasing their run mileage. A lot of people have had just been riddled with Achilles problems and stuff like that have gotten to be able to run longer and even longer, faster with these shoes. There are a couple of small things about them, and one major thing, as I said, that we hope that they address in the future. One, they don't breathe very well. So for me in the Memphis heat, within 5 miles, the shoes are soaked and you're running in squishy shoes, which is not always a pleasant experience. The other thing is that they have no drains. So once that water is in there, it's not coming out. Again, squishy shoes. I've never tested the triathlon version of the shoe, but these are not ideal sockless. I've tried it a couple times and ended up with pretty nasty blisters. The one big flaw that we're seeing in these shoes, due to the size of the soles and the thickness of the soles and the amount of compression and distance you can compress the sole, it's almost like running on a balanced disc or somewhat unstable platform. So if you have any instability in your hips, it will actually magnify that problem. And then a lot of times instability in the hips is the main source of IT band issues, a lot of other knee problems. So essentially I get a little drawn here, excuse my primitive drawings. As the foot makes contact with the ground, most people have a little bit of roll either way. So if you're rolling inside or rolling outside, because of the thickness of the soles, you're going to compress those soles, which is going to cause the foot to roll in more. So each of these red dots is a joint, hip, knee, ankle. So as the foot rolls in, it's going to cause more rotation inward. If the hip joint or the hip muscles are not strong, it's going to cause more lateral movement in the knee joint. There's not a shoe on the market that's going to make up for any hip weaknesses. We have to think of that this is not a rigid system. This is three separate joints that work together but don't always work together. So the foot rolls in, the hip's not strong enough, the knee rolls in. Because it's rolling in and compressing that sole further, there's going to be more lateral movement in that knee joint. So what we suggest people is two things. One, try out a single leg squat. If you can't do a single leg squat on both legs and do it pretty stable, maybe not the best shoe for you. The other thing is a side plank. If you get on your elbow, put your ankles together, and go up in that side plank position, you try to lift that top foot off. If you can't hold that top foot or the top leg, if you can't scissor that leg up off your other leg and hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds, you've probably got some hip issues. You've probably got some weakness in the hips. So you're probably best suited to do the strength work and get those hips strong first, and then jump into these shoes if that's something that you're looking at doing. Like I said, nothing against the Hokas. They're great. I've had some good success with them. But if you don't have the hip strength, then you may have some problems down the road with them. So there you have it, the Hoka 1-1 Bondi Bees. That's kind of our lowdown on them. If you have any other products that you want us to check out, review, get our coach's opinion on, leave us a comment below or on Facebook. Make sure you like our page. Join our newsletter. A lot of our best content, best information comes out on that newsletter. And if you're interested in learning to become a stronger runner, how to run farther or run farther faster or even run shorter faster, which is one of my favorites, give us a shout. www.buildpeakcompete.com.